Well, welcome everybody. We are going to be talking all things online marketing, and I'm really excited that you are here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always the thing that comes up, right? It's the thing that people constantly bring up to me. I'm hopeless at my social media. I don't know what I'm doing on social media. I'm just winging it on social media. So it was the perfect thing to be talking about as part of today's presentation, because so many people stop me in the street and want me to fix up their social media marketing. And, for me, I enjoy social media marketing. I'm not trained as a social media marketer. I'm not trained as a marketer of any kind. But I do know what works for me, and I do know what isn't working with the clients that I'm working with. And so tonight I'm going to be sharing with you hopefully some insights and some planning hints and tips that you can take on and just action straight away. I'm really excited. We have people here from, of course, Australia. We have Mugs tuning in from New Zealand, which is fabulous. We have Patty over in the States. I so appreciate the international following and the international attendance tonight. It's so exciting. I'm so glad to have you here. And tonight's presentation is here on Biripi land. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I'm so thrilled that you're with me. Thank you for taking the time to work on yourself and your business and to do some learning. I think it's always important that we're learning. We're running a little competition. If you take a photo of the notes that you take from tonight's presentation, or if you take a photo of yourself on the screen, or if you just take a photo of the screen and what we've got going on and post it on your Insta story in the next 2 days, tag me at Simply Stacey Morgan, then you can go in the running to win a 30-minute coaching session with me. And of course, the number of posts you do, you get an entry per post. So feel free to enter as many times as you like. And hopefully in that 30-minute session, we can, get to actioning some of the things that we're going to talk about and some of the things that you're going to be learning tonight. So, are you stuck with your social media? Do you feel like you're leaving money on the table when it comes to your business because your marketing doesn't have a strategy or a plan? And are you spending all of your time scrolling, but not so much time posting relevant content for your audience? I'm guilty of that at times too. So this is not about guilting you and making you feel bad, but it is about identifying, okay, what are the things that I really want to fix when it comes to my social media? Where am I getting stuck? What do I need to do more of? And that's what tonight is all about. You can pick and choose and take the bits and pieces that are going to be valuable to you, and you can leave some other things behind. It's totally come as you are. We're going to be talking about a 5-step framework to make it easier to get on top of your online marketing. Of course, I did do a survey on Instagram in terms of what is working, what is not working for you, for your marketing. Is it that you're struggling with online marketing? Is it that you're struggling with your offline marketing? And the overwhelming response was for your online marketing. But don't worry, for those of you who ticked offline, we're going to be talking about that in a couple of months' time. So we will get to that. So please don't worry. But tonight it's all about the stuff online. So, of course, start with a strategy. It's no use you just getting out there and winging it and hoping for the best. You want to make sure that you have a strategy and a plan when it comes to your marketing. And if that means investing in a marketer to come in and help you with your strategy, then absolutely do that. If it's not something you've invested in terms of your business before, I really encourage you to do so, because the insight that you can get from a professional coming in and doing some strategy with you can be so incredibly valuable. But if you don't have the money to invest and the time to invest right now, and you do want to get something done straight away, then start by answering a few key questions. Firstly, who is my target audience? Who am I talking to with all of these posts that I'm supposed to be doing on social media? If you don't know who you're talking to and who your audience is or who your audience are, it's really hard to target the content that you're posting and not just make it about stuff that you like, right? Pictures of cats and things. So what are the problems and the pain points or the concerns or the gripes that your audience has? They're the things that you want to talk about on social media. They are the things that you want to address when it comes to your content. And sure, it's great to share things that you like or that you find interesting or that you think your audience would find interesting. But when it comes to trying to convert our people that are following us into customers who will actually like and trust us and then purchase from us, we really need to get into, we need to get under their skin. We need to get into the nitty gritty of what they like, what they don't like, and what their pain points and concerns are. It's also important to ask yourself where they hang out online. If all of your customers are hanging out on Facebook and you're doing all your posts on LinkedIn, it's going to be really hard for you to connect and really hard for people to find you. So you might like hanging out on LinkedIn. That might be your jam. But if your customers are on Facebook, I'm sorry, you're going to have to give some focus and attention to Facebook. And, you know, that goes for any of the online marketing channels. You need to figure out where your customers are. You can do that by surveying them. You can do that by asking questions. You can do that by stopping someone in the street that you feel is part of your target audience and saying, hey, pull out your phone. Show us how long you've spent on each of your social media apps. And then, you know, whichever one comes up the most, that's a pretty short tell. My husband's an optometrist, and he sees a lot of teenage kids that come in because they're having trouble seeing the board at school, or they're having trouble concentrating and reading. And he'll often say to them, you know, how long do you spend on your phone a day? And they'll say, oh, you know, 2-3 hours. And you'll say, pull out your phone and go to the, and he scrolls, you know, teaches them how to scroll onto the screen time, and it'll say like 13 hours, like 8 hours, something ridiculous. But that doesn't lie. That screen time that Apple, you know, takes for us and judges for us, it doesn't lie. So if you are wondering where your audience is hanging out, check their phones, because that won't lie. It'll tell you how long they're spending on Instagram, all the way down to the minute. Think about how you can solve your audience's problems. If you have a great product, a great service, a great offering that is going to help solve the problems that your target audience has, then that is something you want to be talking about online. I'm not saying you want to be selling all the time. The usual kind of percentage is you want to be doing 80% of sharing. That's, you know, sharing things that are going on in your business, sharing interesting facts, sharing hints and tips, and 20% selling. So don't always be jumping on and sell. You want to kind of make it 80-20 if you can. But when you are thinking about, you know, talking about your product or service, don't just say, we've got the best things in town. Say, we've got the thing that is going to solve this problem. And think about how much time you have to dedicate to generating new customers, because it's no use you coming up with a marketing strategy that says you're going to, you know, do 15 posts a week if you actually know that you don't have the time or the resources to get that much content produced. Yeah, you want to think about creating a strategy that's going to be realistic for you, and make sure that you're going to have the right amount of time to be able to spend on the things, you know, on generating new customers from the online marketing that you are choosing. You also want to think about how many new customers you're going to need in order to hit your financial goals, because, you know, everything we're going to talk about today is about, you know, conversions and creating content with conversions. It's not just about posting. It's not just about, you know, doing a blog post, getting something out there into the world. It's really about getting stuff out into the world and then making that pay off for you, getting some kind of conversion. So Susie Daphnis from Her Business loves to say there's no content without conversion. You want to at all times be thinking about, where does this fall in the journey, in the customer journey? Where does this post sit? Is it something that when somebody sees it for the first time, they're going to come and buy something? Or is it that they've seen, you know, 15 posts of yours before now, and they've also downloaded your free PDF, and they've also read your blog post, and now they're going to see this piece of content? So you need to know what your financial goals are in terms of how many new customers you're going to need to bring in to hit those financial goals, because that will tell you how much you need to be posting. That will tell you how many followers you need. That will tell you what your email list needs to look like. So sometimes as part of this strategy, you want to work backwards. What are my goals going to be? How many products do I want to sell this year? Or how many packages do I want to sell this year? And if I need to do that, how many customers do I need? The usual percentage, you know, the industry standard is 4%. So 4% of your followers, 4% of your email list, 4% of your people who are watching what you're doing are going to convert into customers. So that's a whole lot more people that you need to be engaging with, that are probably going to know, like, and trust you, but probably not going to get their wallets out. So you want to be able to scaffold your strategy in a, you know, backwards motion from where your financial goals are to how many people you're going to need to generate and to bring into your world. Those are all big, important key questions. So the takeaway for tip number 1 is to have a brainstorming session and to get really clear on your target market. even if you can only take 5 minutes, set a timer on your phone, get a blank notepad out, get a fresh colored pen, something that, gets you going because it's nice stationery, and do a brainstorm. Who is my target market? What am I going to learn from them? What are their problems? What's going on with them? Really try and get to know them. And as I said, if you only got 5 minutes, just take 5 minutes to do that. It'll be terribly valuable for you. Write a list of their problems and pain points, connect the dots. So put together, okay, they've got this problem and I've got this solution. How can I put those two together? How can I get language around marrying those up? And then map out some time that you can dedicate on a weekly basis, whether that's, 5 minutes on a Monday morning or whether it's 30 minutes on a Friday lunchtime, but map out a time and be consistent and jump on in and match those dots up, or do that brainstorm and match those dots up consistently every week just for that time period. 5 minutes on a Monday, 30 minutes on a Friday. Perhaps you take the 20 minutes you spend before you go to bed when you're sitting and just checking before you go to sleep what's going on Instagram. But take that 20 minutes and use that to do a little brainstorm or to connect the dots, and you will find that you are already ahead. Is this making sense? Give me a thumbs up if you've got your camera on, or give me one of the thumbs up emojis if you are a camera off person tonight. Fabulous. Love it. Thanks, Leah. Patty, you can hear me all right? I want to know what time it is where you are.
It is 4:38 a.m., whatever time it is.
Snaps for Patty, because that is crazy. Normally,
I like my sleep hair.
I love it. I love it. You're welcome to come as you are. I'm so impressed that you're here. Thank you so much. Fab.
I love you.
Mwah. All right. Get yourself some content. So this is where people come to a grinding halt. What am I going to post? What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what people want me to talk about. I don't know where to do it. Where do I do it? Where do I go? And so much of that overwhelm really stops us and puts us in a position where we just go, oh, it's too much, I give up. Does that sound familiar? Is that something that happens with you? You go, oh, it's just like, I can't, it's way too much. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Yes, there are some, 5 million incredible places where you can create content and you can post and get content. But as we said in tip number 1, you want to know where your audience is, and you want to be able to talk to them where they are. You want to be able to go to them where they're already hanging out. You don't want to try and drag people over to a new social platform or drag people to reading your blog post onto your website if, that's not where they want to hang out. You want to go where they are. So there's 100 different options for you on the screen of which you know about. But I want you to write down right now, just two. Write 2 places where you can go, where you know it's going to be valuable for you to put content. And now we're going to talk about what you're going to do and what you're going to post. So it's easy for me, and this is what works for me, to find some visuals and go with that. I love Instagram. I love Facebook. I enjoy LinkedIn. I should be more dedicated to LinkedIn than I am, but I do enjoy being there. I should engage more, but I am there. And each of those platforms are great because they're visual. So it's, you get people's attention by using photos and videos. And Canva is just a little piece of heaven, because not only is it great to use their templates and to create your own stuff, but they have great images already. They have great photos that are already there. They have great videos that are already there. And if you're not investing in Canva Pro, then please do, because it just makes life so much easier. So get on top of that. But also you want to arm yourself with some unique visuals that are unique to you and to your business. So book yourself a photo shoot day. And it doesn't mean you have to hire a professional photographer, though there are some fantastic professional photographers that I know and love, and are clients of mine that I can put you in touch with. But even if you just want to book yourself a photo shoot and do it yourself, get your best friend involved and get somebody to come over and do your hair and put your lashes on, and then take some photos. They can be photos of your products. They can be photos of you. They can be photos of you in action. They can be photos of you in your office. They can, look, it can be whatever is going to suit you and your brand. But starting off with the visuals is just such an easy, it just makes everything so much easier, because then you're not stuck of like, I don't know what to type, because the story will help tell, the photo will help tell the story. So organize a time, book it in now. Say next Thursday, I'm going to put a face on and I'm going to have some photos taken. And even if it makes you cringe and you go, oh gosh, just think about the end product. Think about the fact that you're not going to have to think, what am I going to post? Because you're already going to have stuff there. Brain dump your knowledge into a voice memo or a Google document and give it to somebody else. This is the next part. So let's say you're an expert on a certain topic that other people don't know much about, and that topic is linked to the products that you sell, and you want to position yourself as the expert. But the thought of sitting down and writing a blog post makes you want to just, roll your eyes and crawl back under the doona and not come out. That's a duvet, Patty. Just there's a little translation there for the New Zealanders and the Americans. Crawl under your duvet. We call it a doona over here. So it's, Marg says, thanks for that. I got you. So you want to make sure that you are taking out of the equation the things that make you cringe, the things that make you roll your eyes and go, no, I don't want to get out of bed to do that. Brain dump the knowledge that you have, this expert knowledge that you have that other people don't have, into a voice memo, into a Google document, and go ahead and give it to somebody else to translate. There are many different, AI, artificial intelligence, AI, products that you can just upload the file and it will send it back to you in 10 minutes with all of the words. And then you can use those words to create blog posts. You can use those words to create social media captions. You can create quotes and make pretty little quotes in Canva and put that up as your social content. The point is you're not sitting down at a blank piece of paper or at a blank screen and thinking, what am I going to post today? Might just scroll and, an hour goes past. So brain dump that knowledge into a voice memo on your phone, or if you prefer typing, you can sit down and do it in a Google document, but getting that information out and just picking one topic. If you talk for 3 minutes on one topic, you can turn that into a blog post. You can turn that into probably 3 or 4 social captions. And if you've had some photos taken the week before, then there you go. Ta-da! Just like that. Play around in Canva is my third point, and find yourself some templates that work for you. Plug in all of your colors that work with your brand, and then, put some time aside and go down that Canva rabbit warren hole that, you get stuck in for hours on end because you're looking at this template and changing that template and putting this animation in and then changing this color. Like I've been there often. And so you want to be able to put some time aside for you to be able to do that. Make yourself a bunch of templates. Make yourself 10. And then each week when you sit down to batch your content, or you sit down to do your voice memo, or you've got those brand new photos that you want to bring in, it's just about dragging and dropping, throwing it up on your socials, and then we're good to go. I hope that's taken the scariness out of the things, what am I going to post for you? You want to change it up as well when it comes to your photo shoot. And here's just a couple of examples. This was a bit embarrassing putting this slide together. Like, how many crazy photo shoots have I had this year and last? So anytime I put makeup on, I'm like, let's take some photos while we're here. So there's me spinning a wheel and being very happy about it. There's me on my staircase laughing. There's me in the studio with some dancers. There's me with a cup of tea. My children broke that cup after that photo shoot. And every time I look at it, I go, oh, children. There's me at the summit. There's me in New York, and there's me in a hotel in Sydney, just cause I had a face on. So let's take some photos. You want to change it up to make it look like, to give yourself a lot of content. You don't want to be wearing the same thing in every single photo you post on Instagram. So, change your jacket, change your hair, put a spinning wheel in if you want to, or, change the props, and then make sure that you get different angles and different photos, because in 10 minutes, you can get yourself a month's worth of content. Yeah. If you're clever about it. So don't be afraid to batch all of that stuff. The voice recording for me is the way I do everything. So my podcast that I record, and I batch those, I do them all together, maybe 2 months at a time. That gets turned into a blog post. That blog post gets turned into social captions. Those social captions, go on as part of my newsletter. I do it as part of journal articles. It's all the same message coming from the one same 10-minute me talking. And now that you know that, when you read my newsletter, you'll be like, sounds like what you talked about on a podcast last week. But it is. because it's all about using the time that you have wisely and making sure that you're not, wasting time doing things that are going to, drive you bonkers. So that piece of content that you create, that Google Doc or that voice memo, you can then send it out into the world. I'm not saying you have to write the social captions, you have to turn into the blog post. There's some incredible copywriters that will do that for you really cost effectively. You could get yourself a VA that's, situated somewhere around the world. They could turn it into that for you, into the newsletter content. It's a great thing to hire somebody and give them this as the challenge, like pay them a standard amount and say, I want 3 social captions, 1 blog post and 1 newsletter written from this, and see how they go. It's a really nice little taster to see whether that person's going to be great to work with. And I encourage you to use that voice memo and use that as a way of just kind of getting it out. And because it's not, if you're not recording a podcast, it doesn't matter if you're umming and ahhing and kind of thinking about your thoughts and there's a long pause, and that doesn't matter. The automated computer system thing that's doing your transcribing for you does not care that you say and ah as many times as you think that's important. And the templates, here's some examples of some templates that I have in Canva. And I literally, in order to put this slide together, just dragged them over. They were already there. There's my thank you note. There's my cover title for a PDF. There's my, head for my YouTube banner. There's some Instagram posts, and that is all using the branding that I have, and it all just sits in Canva. And every time I need to change out a title or change out a picture with me holding a coffee cup, obviously that was a good photo at the time, but I can just change it out for one of the photos that is more relevant. And it makes it so much easier rather than trying to start from scratch every single time. So take some time now, grab your calendar, put some time aside for your Canva, put some time aside for your voice memo recording, and put some time aside for your photo shoot. You will not regret it. And it will just really give you a kickstart into having that content there. And once you get into the habit, you saw how many photos I had of myself. And once you get into the habit of it, like the very first time we did that, I was like, oh, really? Like I crawled out of bed thinking, I don't want to do this. But now that I'm in the habit of doing it every month or so, it's just part of what needs to get done in order for us to have good content, and for me not to kind of go, oh, that looks like I've used it 400 times. So book time in your calendar to record a few voice memos, have a few practice goes if you want. If you feel nervous about, talking to yourself, don't stress. Put your camera on if that's easier, if you feel like talking to somebody, or talk to your dog. My dog Benny's at my feet right now. Sometimes I just have a chat with him and actually it gets the words flowing and gets it going out there. Try and find a VA or a copywriter who can turn that goal that you're talking about into content that you can repurpose, and schedule some time for Canva. They're your tangible takeaways for point number 2. That'll keep you busy. All right. Number 3, commit to a content calendar. Hands up. Who's got a content calendar? Who's using the content calendar? Who knows what's coming out when on their socials? Yeah, Miss Patty. I watch Dance Spectrum. I know what's going down in your neck of the woods. Marg says nope. Helen's shaking her head.
No.
Got to get onto it.
She is Planner. Is that the one? Planner?
Plannerly?
I think so. It's like a month. You put in a month's worth of posts. Yeah, I think
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Pam, did you just say yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. That's all right.
I need to get onto that.
Absolutely. So Leah's just given me like a sad face. So I don't think Leah's doing it either. But committing to a content calendar, again, this is all about making it easy. This is all about making it a no-brainer. And so getting yourself a content calendar where you know what you're posting each day or each week is going to make your life so much easier. So I like to get my things into content buckets so that I don't feel like kind of everything's just a shambles and all over the place. I try and kind of group my things together. So let's just say, as an example, that I want to do a good morning post. We do that for Port Macquarie Performing Arts. We do good morning, our PMPA family. Hope you're going to have a great day. Something like that. They change every day, but that's the gist, the general gist of the post. And this is for Facebook. I want to do some posts about the current products that I'm selling so that, I'm letting people know the problems that I can solve for them. And I want to do a Friday flashback on Fridays because that's fun. And because, you know, I've got a whole heap of photos on my camera roll, I might as well use them for something. So in terms of my content buckets, I map out my week just with a blank spreadsheet that looks just like this. And I can give you a copy of that. And let's say I'm going to post a good morning post at 7:30 on Monday, at 7:30 on Wednesday, and at 7:30 on a Friday. Boom, there, 3 posts for the week already done, tick. They don't have to be complicated. They can be a picture of a sunrise. They can be a picture of me with my thumbs up. They can just be the words, whatever suits you. Then I'm going to think about, okay, where am I going to post about my current products? So my current target market, when it comes to Port Macquarie Performing Arts, are schools. They're not schools, are school mums. I was going to say mums who are doing school pickup at 3 o'clock. Mums who I know are on their phones in their cars at school pickup at 3 o'clock. So a lot of the things that I post, again, I'm going to where my audience is. I already know that they're on Facebook at 3 o'clock because they're waiting at school pickup. So at 3 o'clock, I'm posting fresh content, and I'm going to do that every day. And you might choose to do it once a week. You might choose to do it 5 days a week, whatever it suits you. But I've just put it in there as 3 o'clock every day during the week. Then I probably should have put it on the weekend as well, but I didn't. I was just like looking. Then Friday flashback, I'm going to do on Friday at 9:30 a.m. 9:30, because usually people that are at work at their desk on a Friday, by the time it gets to 9:30, they're a bit bored and they might check their socials. So I'm going to hit my Friday flashback there. And it's going to be a picture of, you know, what it looked like on the first day of the business, or what we did last year for Christmas, or, you know, something that has happened in the past, even if it was just a month ago. I'm going to do a Friday flashback. And so that's going to be part of my content buckets. And so I make a heap of these. I make a heap of the Friday flashbacks. Let's say I make 10 at a time, and I keep them all in a content folder, a bucket. And then when it's time to schedule, I just pull them out of the bucket and stick them in the scheduler. You can get great scheduling programs like Meet Edgar that will do the bucket for you. You can just plug in all of those posts, and every Friday, it'll just pick one randomly and put it out at 9:30. You might not want to invest in something that's that sophisticated. You might just want to do it yourself, but create yourself folders for your buckets and batch your content and load it up, so that all you have to do when it comes time to schedule is sit down and pull for them from those buckets. Or that's a job for your VA. That's a job for your intern. That's a job for somebody who's, you know, looking for an hour's worth of work a week. There you go. Come on down, schedule all the things that are already in my content buckets and go for it. So have a think about 3 to 5 buckets that you could prepare content for based around your products and services. I'm going to give you a hot second to write them down now. Maybe it's a good morning. Maybe it's a Friday flashback. Maybe it's a throwback Thursday. Maybe it's a meet the team Tuesday. We do that. We ask our team 10 questions, and then we put a photo of them and the answers to their 10 questions. What's your favorite color? What was the last TV show that you binged and loved? Yeah. And that's content. Then write out your own content calendar. And please don't think that you have to wait till you have a spreadsheet, like a piece of paper with Monday through Sunday written on the top of it and some lines down the paper will do you just fine. Figure out where your audience already are and try and schedule based around the habits. If you don't know what those habits are, go to the insights on your social media of choice. Your insights will tell you when people are looking at your content. Your insights will tell you what posts were great, what posts dived, and the great ones, figure out when you posted them and then repeat that and see if it happens again. It could be the time that you posted it. It could be the content itself is great. Sometimes it's hit and miss. We have to test these things out. And then schedule some time to just do a month's worth of Friday flashbacks. Just scroll through your camera roll and find 4 photos for 4 Fridays of November. And then I look forward to seeing them on your socials. And you don't even have to write a caption. Friday flashback, boom, put the photo up. There you go. That making sense? I cannot wait to see your Friday flashbacks. I'll be waiting, standing by this Friday, following you all on socials. Alrighty. Get clear on your messaging. Number 4, home stretch. So many people get confused about what to say on social media. They're like, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to post. I don't know what to talk about. Oh, well, I might just scroll and look at other people's content. Oh, and an hour's gone by and now I've got to go and pick up the kids. Like, we've all been there. So you really want to get clear on your messaging to make sure that whatever it is that you're going to say is going to hit home with the target audience that you want to be coming and spending money with you. As I said in the beginning, Susie Daphnis from Her Business loves to say, no content without conversion. What is our conversion going to be for this messaging that we're going to put out there, and how are we going to get clear on it? I love the Story Brand Framework. I'm a big fan of Donald Miller. I'm a Business Made Simple certified coach, and the Story Brand Framework makes everything so easy. It makes it really clear to understand. And if you put it into practice, then your audience will be able to resonate with your content. They will start to really get to know, like, and trust you. They will start to spend money with you because they know that you are going to be the person that's going to understand their fear, give them a plan, and then give them a resolution or a transformation. That's what you want. So you want to start off by identifying your character. Who is the person that you're talking to and what is their problem? So let's say that you have, you're somebody who goes around and mows people's lawns. You know that your character is somebody who owns a house with a lawn, and their problem is that they don't have time to mow their lawn. Yeah. And you want to talk to that problem. We're all busy. Life is busy. It's moving really fast. Who's got time to mow the lawn? Don't you want to spend your Sunday afternoons in the pool with the kids rather than out the front sweating it up and, mowing the lawn? Make sure you understand the problem and you talk to the problem. You talked about how you understand, you get it. You're the business that really, you've been there, you've done that, you understand. And then you give them a plan of how to resolve it. So I can come to your house once a fortnight, mow your lawn, and then you'll have Sundays to just hang out on the deck, drink a beer, and live your best life. Yeah? That forces them to take action. That part of it is the really important part. Sometimes we don't like asking for the sale, but it's so important to ask for the sale. If you click here or follow this link, or if you use this coupon, we can get started on your lawn next week. Great. That sounds easy. So you've always got to make sure you give them the plan that will force them to take action. Make it really simple for them. Don't just kind of say, go to my website, because they'll go to your website and they'll go, that's a nice lawn. Oh, I wonder what kind of lawn that is. I might Google lawns, lawn types, and all of a sudden you've lost them. So you want to make it really clear. Use this coupon, go to this link, go to this direct page, use this QR code, make it as easy as possible for them. And then the most important thing is you're going to, paint a beautiful picture of what's going to happen after they've engaged your services. So what is going to be the result? You are going to be happier. You're going to have a better relationship with your kids. Your wife is going to love you. You're just going to, your house is going to look pristine. All the neighbors are going to be jealous of your perfect life. You paint the picture of what success looks like for them if they buy your product or service. And then the clincher is you paint the picture of doom and gloom if they don't go and purchase from you, or you can just spend your Sundays being a hot, sweaty mess out the front. Yeah. And it's that part that people often forget. You want to paint the picture of success that happens if people invest in your product or service, but you also want to tell them the terrible thing that will happen if they don't. That's the hard bit, but it's so important and it really, really works. So get clear on your messaging, get clear on the story that you're telling, tell that story, speak to that story, and create content that's really going to help your audience know that you really get them and you really understand. So have a look at your current marketing, your current advertising, have a look at what's out there already and ask yourself the following questions. Am I talking about myself or my customer's problem? It's so easy to talk about ourselves. Oh, we've got the best product in town. Oh, we're the best of the best. Oh, we can do all the things, and we can do them the fastest and the quickest and the cheapest and the betterest and all the things. No, you want to talk about their problem, not about how great you are. You want to position yourself as the guide that is going to help the hero, and the hero is your customer. Don't make yourself the hero. I'll solve all the problems. You want to make the customer the hero. You're going to be the person with the best lawn in town. Everyone's going to love your lawn. Yeah. And I'm going to help you get there. You want to position yourself as the guide. Do I give the customer the understanding that I feel what they're frustrated about or know where they're coming from? Have a look at your current stuff that's out there already. Scroll back through your Instagram. Have a look. Are you talking to, you know, what people are frustrated about? Helen, you've got people coming in for weddings all the time. Are you talking about how difficult it is to coordinate 15 different suppliers for a wedding and how frustrating that is? You know, come to us and we can do it all for you and we can make it easy and we can give you the day of your dreams. Ta-da. Yes. Patty,
I've
you're
literally just come up with an amazing concept. Just listening to you.
love. You want
exactly
to talk to, like, people who are planning weddings, they don't plan events all the time. So they're like, this is awful. You know, it gets exciting for the first day and then you're in the thick of it and you're like, oh gosh, this is huge. So you want to take that fear out and you want to be the guy that's just going to create this hero experience for them. Patty, you've got people obviously that are little people coming in to dance and for their lives to be changed. But most importantly, you've got customers, and Margs, this goes for you as well. You've got customers who want to be the hero mum. They want to have the child on Facebook that they can brag about how wonderful they are because they're in this extracurricular activity. So you want to be able to position yourself as the person that can give that mum the confidence and the understanding that their child will be well looked after and trained beautifully and be a beautiful human. And yeah, you want to talk to those fears that mum has. Will my child have no friends? Will my child fit in? Will my child be a success? They're the fears that your customer has when they're thinking about putting their child in dance. So you want to make sure that you're like, yes, we will do all of that and you will look like mum of the year. That's what they want to hear. And Leah, you've got people coming to you that are, you know, perhaps injured or perhaps don't want to be injured again and want to be, you know, getting their body in the best possible condition. So you want to be able to talk to the frustration that they have when they're trying to play golf or when they're trying to play team sports or when they're trying to play in the backyard with their kid and their knees are playing up or their hips are playing up or that niggling back injury keeps coming to them. You want to say you understand how frustrating that is and you want to help support them, get them stronger and get them into a position where they can do all the things they want to do in their life. Then ask yourself, did I give my potential customers the confidence that if they don't choose my product, that something terrible or something bad will happen? You want to make sure that you are painting the picture of the doom and gloom that will happen if you don't. You know, your golf swing will be terrible and your game will be shot if you don't come and take care of your knees now or whatever it is that you got to tell them. And that's the hard part because you don't want to always go the negative, but it's nice to just throw in there every now and then just to remind them that, yeah, your business is pretty awesome at what they do because it is. And then go and make some changes accordingly. So if all you do as part of this is go back and look at what you've done in the past and then make some changes and repost, happy days. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You might just want to leave everything as it is and start from scratch with your new messaging, whatever works for you. But I encourage you to really make sure that you're getting clear when it comes to your messaging. All right. And number 5, here we go. Tell people what to do next. How often do we see a great product, a great service, a great ad, and you go, yeah, that's me. I love that. That's awesome. And then there's nothing. You can't find the checkout. You can't find the click. You can't see the size guide. You can't, and you're like, oh, I'm done. And you're off. Attention spans are so quick, are so like on to the next thing that we cannot give people even a split second to have a distracted thought about something else. We have to make sure that we are telling people really clearly what to do next. We have to give people a call to action every time that we post. And that call to action doesn't always have to be, you know, download this thing or buy this thing, but it can be just asking a question. It can be leave a comment on this post or give me a thumbs up if you know what this means. Or if if you understand, if you have the same concerns or problems. It doesn't always have to be a sell, but you do have to invite people to know what to do next. And when it comes to social media, engagement is king. You want your customers to be engaged with your content. You want them to be, commenting on your posts, liking your things, sharing your things, saving your things. That's really important when it comes to the algorithm helping you out, especially when it comes to using money for paid advertising. You want that little extra boost. And you get that by being really engaged on social media. So you want to be able to give people clear instruction. So it's very rare that I will put up a post that will not have an instruction at the end. You know, the link is in the bio, or DM me for more information, or comment in the, leave me a comment of what your favorite thing to do on a Friday night is, or what's your favorite recipe to cook for breakfast on a Sunday morning, or tag your favorite, you know, tag your best friend who gets it too. Give people a really clear instruction as to what to do next, so that all of the work all this hard work that you're doing, having the photos, posting the things, making the templates, getting the story right, when it actually gets out there, people are engaging with it. And then the algorithm is helping it along and helping put it in front of more eyeballs, because that's what we want. We want that engagement. So if you don't ask for the sale when it comes to selling, especially on your social media, you'll never get it. But once you do get it, you'll see your social media marketing starting to pay off. And when it starts to pay off, when your followers start to go up, or when your engagement starts to go up, and then you get those, you know, those little green signals, plus 2% or plus 15%, or, you know, when things start to go up, you'll get motivation, you'll get momentum, and then you'll want to create more content, and everything will become easier. It's really hard to get engaged with social media if you don't enjoy it. It's really hard to create content over and over again if it's not something that really gets you going. But once you start to see momentum, or once it starts to make a difference in your bottom line, you'll start to go, oh, okay, I've got the hang of this, I can do this. So you really want to get yourself to a position where it does start to pay off. So please don't be afraid to ask for the sale. And when I say sale, I'm not saying like Black Friday sale. I'm saying buy my stuff now. Come get this program. Come, you know, book in a free call one-on-one so we can chat about whatever it is that you're selling. Come in for a free trial. Whatever it is that you're selling, ask for it. Be direct. If you don't ask, people will be confused. They won't know what's going on. They won't get it. You need to ask for the sale. And I don't want you to feel icky about it. And I don't want you to feel like, we're all here for the same reason. If you have a product or service, which I'm sure you all do, that is helping your target market, if you are putting something beautiful out into the world to help your community, people need to know about it. They won't know how great it is unless they buy it. So you want to give people that opportunity. And that won't happen unless you ask for the sale. So if you feel icky about that, or if there's some hesitation that you have when it comes to being on socials all the time because you don't want to feel salesy, forget all that. That's just a story you're telling yourself. Ask for the sale, tell the people what to do next. You'll start to see a difference, and then you'll start to feel really good about it. Yeah. So your tangible takeaway for point number 5 is to include a call to action with all of your posts. Comment here, tag your friend, give me a thumbs up. The link is in the bio. Register today. Buy now. Click here. Schedule a call. Book a one-on-one session. Yeah? And if you get stuck, you're like, I don't know what the call to action is for this. Google great calls to action, and then Google will give you a list of 100 of them. And then you can just choose one. Don't choose 2. Let's not get so excited about the call to action that we say, you can click here, or you can go to the link in your bio, or if you send me a DM, or if you just email me, because people will be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, don't get too excited. Just pick one. Just pick one. Be really clear. Ask them for it. Leave it at that. That makes sense? Don't leave money on the table by not engaging. Yeah? All right. My bonus tip for today is to work on your strengths and to contract out the rest. Because there is no use, if this is not something you enjoy, there is no use me saying, come on, suck it up. You can do it. Like, just do it. No, you'll do it for 2 days and then you'll go, oh, I hate this. So work on your strengths, work on the things that that you enjoy or that you know that you're good at. Perhaps it's that you're going to do the voice memo. Perhaps it's that you've got to go and have the photos taken. And then the rest of it, there are people that will do this for you at a really reasonable price. And when you know the value of your work and what your time is worth, it's always going to work out cheaper to get somebody else to do the scheduling and to do the writing of the things. If you can use your strengths to give the information or to set it up, and then somebody else can do the legwork, at the end of the day, that investment is going to pay off 3 times. Because the things that you could be doing with your time, innovating in your business, working on your business, working with your business coach, working, having lunch with your business besties to talk about, what the latest trends are, all of those things are better use of your time than you going #business, no. You can pay somebody else to do that at a much cheaper rate than what you are worth, and it will pay off over and over again. So work on your strengths, do the things that you're good at, contract out the rest. And you don't have to start by going to the scary, like, oh, I've got to go online and find a VA in the Philippines. And I don't know how to, what will that, you don't have to do that. I always start, whenever I find a job, I always start with my team. And I say, hey, I need someone to do 3 posts a week and write the blog post and put this together. And does anyone want to do that? It'll pay this much. And sometimes I get someone that go, yeah, I could do that. And most times I get everyone go, no, that sounds awful. And that's okay, because there are people who get really excited and energized by that kind of stuff. And you can find them on the internet or just ask around. Yeah. There's a lot of people using a lot of great VAs and a lot of great copywriters. And my copywriter is brilliant. So I'll give you her number. Brilliant. Does all the hard work for me. Thanks, Tanae. All right. I'm going to give you a hot second. Probably not 3 minutes, because I like to talk, to do a big brain dump of all the things that are swirling through your head, all of the things that you need to plan. I'll put a song on. You can write it all down, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. What do we feel like hearing? Any requests? How about this?
Cool.
Hang on. Fancy when it's not coming through my Bluetooth speaker. Let's try. How'd we go? If you're happy to share, jump in the chat. Tell me one thing that you're taking away, one thing that you're working on, one thing that's part of your plan, one thing that you're going to get to, one aha moment that you had that are like, oh, I need to do that. Let me know. Or Helen, if you're happy to jump on the mic, go for it.
Yeah, so I am at a little bit of a fork in the road with the business. Trying to decide whether we focus in a little bit more or continue on our path of servicing weddings, corporates, and family retreats. So that's the basic crux.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing we're finding, so I have a whole nother corporate question, but I could leave that for now, because I think the one thing we do really well and we attract the most, talking about strengths, is weddings,
Mm-hmm.
just the nature of the site. So now, having done this for 18 months, and getting the feedback from our people, one of the things that it really knocks our social media for six, they love it, is us face to camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest posts, like reaction to posts we get, is when the wedding team goes up, Molly, me, or Reese, or someone from team. And then all these crazy comments come through. So I think now we know enough about
Mm-hmm.
running weddings. We're really good at it. It would be fun to sort of maybe have 10 topics. Maybe we do one every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Even maybe interview some of our florists and do maybe something called the matrimony minute or something.
Yep.
And throw
Love
a
it.
little reel, or not real, but just some sort of little vid up there with the team saying something about, how to pick your flowers, or
Yep.
why rehearsal is so important. Things that we know become issues for couples.
Yeah.
That might be something fun we could do, and it makes it real to people.
Yeah. I mean, face to camera is always going to get you more engagement than anything else. So as much as we love like making pretty reels of pretty pictures of pretty things, you're not going to get as much traction as you're going to get if you get your face out there. That's just the unfortunate reality. So that takes practice, and by all means, get amongst it. But the matrimony minute is a perfect example of a video that you could do where you're having a chat, and maybe there's a couple of you, and you take that audio or you take that MP4 download that you get off Instagram and you get it transcribed, and then you send it to a VA and they put it into a blog post and they make it into 10 social captions about how to pick the flowers and how, like, hello content.
Yeah.
And you'll have a good time doing the 10-minute, or, it'll end up being a 20-minute, have a chat. Or answer the question, but that'll give you 3 weeks of content every time. And if you do it once every 2 weeks, then you've got it all there.
Yeah.
So I think that's brilliant.
Great.
That's gold.
I'll get back to you.
Do it. I can't wait. The matrimony minute. I'm keeping my eye out. Everybody follow Mansfield Estate. I love it. So Delaney's doing calendar planning for social content. Brilliant. Patty's going to be more specific about the services that can service their needs. Absolutely. You've got great social proof, Patty. People love you. You're great in your community. People put stuff out all the time. Like I'm seeing your socials all the time. But, talking about serving their needs and talking about those things that those kids are getting inside your classroom is just gold. Leah's got one thing to do, strategy. And Leah's team's having a brainstorming session with me at her workplace on Thursday, which we're going to be working on strategy. So I want something else from you, Leah. You can't, that's a cop out, because I'm doing that for you on Thursday. So you need to tell me one other thing that you're going to be working on. Patty's going to schedule a photo shoot and get the VA to put your words together and the director's words together as well. Yes, it doesn't all have to be you. Your team are very knowledgeable. They know exactly what they're doing. Get them in front of the camera or get them to voice record something and go for it. Delaney's going to have a 30-day launch within the brand. Beautiful. So something for every day of the month. Love it. And Leah's laughing at me. Leah, you can get back to me on your homework, what you're going to do. I cannot wait to hear. All right. So I know what you're thinking. How am I going to find time to do all of this? And that is, that is the golden question. How are we going to find time? We're all time poor always. But the idea is to make it as easy as possible for yourself. So please don't feel like you have to all of a sudden go and try and tackle all 5 of the things I talked about today tomorrow morning. Yeah. Because you're going to hit a roadblock at 12 o'clock when you're exhausted and hungry. And then you'll go, I'll just not do any of that. I'll go back to doing what I was doing before. So bite-sized pieces. Just think about the little things that you can do the little goals that you have, how you can turn them into action steps, and then get those action steps on your to-do list. And if you don't have a copy of my to-do list, then there's the QR code, scan it now, get the downloadable version, and get yourself a version of my to-do list so that you can print it off and use it every day. Even if you just want to steal it to like make your own version. My version won't necessarily work for everybody, and I totally know that. But what I hope it does is inspire you to create your own system. That could be an electronic system, it could be a paper system, it could be a post-it note system, it could be a little notebook system, a big notebook system, a whiteboard system, whatever the system is that suits you. But it only works if you work it. So you have to make sure that whatever system you choose, you continually go back to it. My to-do system works for me because every day I have it with me. Every day it's in my bag. Every time I sit down at my desk, it's with me. He thinks I'll be buried with it because I just don't go anywhere without it. Here it is. Ta-da. That's my current one. I'm writing in pink because I was like, I need something inspiring today. And sometimes it's just a pink pen. So that's my to-do list. Get your own to-do list system, and the QR code's there if you would like to steal mine. Absolutely go for it. But you have to be really intentional with your time, and you have to come up with a plan, because if you don't plan for things to change, everything will stay the same. And in 4 weeks' time, you'll be just as overwhelmed with your social media as you have been in the past, and nothing will get any different. I love this quote by James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your system. So you could have the biggest goal of getting on top of your social media and I'm going to get it done. But if there's no system in place, like a blocked out piece of time every Monday at 9:30, or half an hour to work on stuff on Friday at lunchtime, or somebody in charge on your team that's going to be doing the scheduling. If there's no system, the goal's not going to happen. You'll fall to the level of that system. Atomic Habits is a great book to read. PS, if you haven't, I've read the audiobook. I've listened to the audiobook, and it's a game changer. So remember that quote. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. Get your social media systems in place now. And figure out what you will start with today. If you want to get started and get more help getting with getting the most out of the time that you have, then I've got a great productivity tip booklet that you can download by scanning the QR code, because we've all got the same amount of time in the day as Beyonce. Granted, Beyonce's got a little bit more help than us. However, we've all got the same amount of hours. What we do with them is the key, right? You want to be making sure you're making the most of the time that you have, so that you have time in life for the things that really matter to you. Team Tuesdays, Leah's got back to me in the chat. Team Tuesdays is what you're going to be working on. Love it. Meet the Team Tuesdays. Looking forward to seeing the Fix You socials and meeting your team. That sounds great. Let's start with you. If you want to keep in touch, I have obviously the most fabulous Facebook group in the world, How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life. Please come and join us. It's good fun inside there. Lots of like-minded business owners. You can search for us on Facebook. My podcast, How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life, are you seeing a theme here, is on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Please have a listen. And if you would like to join us in Byron Bay for the Simply Business Summit, you can spend 3 days with other like-minded business owners. We are heading to gorgeous Byron Bay. Look at that. And I made it a video so that the waves move. Ready? Do it. Do it. It's not going to do it. I was like, that's inspiring. Seeing waves move at Byron Bay. That's the beach we'll be sitting on. Who's coming to join us? Patty, it is a bit of an ask for you to come all the way. But look, if you want to come, there is a seat at the table for you. Absolutely. Actually, if you can come and bring Sandy Duncan, because I've been trying to convince Sandy to come as well. So I'll let you work on Sandy. You two can come together. You can be her travel buddy. That would be great. The Simply Business Summit is happening in June of 2023, June 21, 22, 23 in gorgeous Byron Bay. You can secure your spot now if you go to simplystacymorgan.com/summit. You are getting access to that page before anybody else, because tickets don't go on sale until Thursday. So please jump on in and pay your deposit. It is a limited amount of seating because it's we make it a small event. It's a retreat style event. It's not, one of these massive ballroom type events. It's just very small. We all get to know each other. We all get to know each other's businesses, network and support each other's businesses. And if you want to make sure that you have a spot, bring your team members, bring yourself, book your accommodation in Byron Bay, come and have a bougie couple of days with us. It's going to be a good time. But you can pay your deposit and get your spot now. Do it today or tomorrow, because when everybody else gets a chance on Thursday, it's going to be a time. If you secure your place before Saturday, you'll get some bonus content in the week in the lead up to it to make sure you get the most out of it, which people who aren't on tonight's call will not be getting. So go through and do that now. And now it's time for questions. Jump on in. Let me know. Turn your mic on. Patty's asked in the chat when the retreat's on. It's on in June. So hopefully, if it works out well, Patty, your recital happens and then you get on a plane and come to Australia. Does that sound good?
It sounds amazing. I'm going to talk to Sandy.
I think you should.
Yeah, because my show is June 3rd.
Oh, then you can do your show, have a week or two off, and then come to beautiful Byron Bay.
Yes, I could.
I like the sound of that. And you should put Terry on the plane too. Just saying.
Oh my God. Yes. Everyone.
Vision Sisters, Byron Bay. Love it. Any questions? Everyone's like, whew, that's a lot. I'm going to take it all in.
I did have a question.
Don't know?
Don't know.
That's okay. Reach out to me. If something comes to you, if you go from here, go downstairs, pour yourself a glass of wine, start doing your nighttime routine, etc., and then you go, oh, have a question, hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Simply Stacey Morgan. I can always answer your questions then. And I'll probably do a little video answering your question. And then I'll probably download that video and send it off and get it transcribed and turn it into a blog post or a couple of social media posts, just like that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's just been awesome. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you have access to the buy 2, get 3 sessions free by going to simplystaceymorgan.com/coaching. That is up until the end of the month if you want to get on top of that. Otherwise, get out there, go get them, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need any help. Thank you so much for joining us and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Stacey. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.